I am going to start over, and then I'll edit this from the beginning. I know what the problem was now. All right, so bear with me, Henry. Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So if you're first time here on my blog, I've written a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. I also it's an audio and Kindle version. It's basically what I've been doing over the last 40 years, building my fortune. Started small, started with nothing, lived in a trailer park with my dad. Really didn't have any advantage over anybody other than I learned early at 19 years old about real estate and the power and how wealthy it can make you very quickly. And that's what I had going for me. And really, a lot of people don't ever learn that lesson. Some people learn it very late. Some people learn it 30, 40, 50, and they still make a ton of money, make millions. Ben started much later than I did, okay? And Ben hasn't really invested probably nearly as long as I did. But you know what? He found a good niche that was really profitable, and he's wealthier than I am. And I've got tens of millions. He's supposedly got hundreds of millions. So you know what? It's you can't really go wrong, and that's the beauty of real estate is you don't know how much you're going to make. Really, you just know that if you work hard, I know you make you make a lot. You make a lot, but maybe it'll be $1 million or 10 million or hundreds of millions. Who knows? Or billions, right? But so today we're going to talk about how to get started. Okay, I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are, but let's watch this garbage to gold video from Ben. Look, he's a real gregarious guy. I like him. And as goofy and funny as he is at times, he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about, and that comes through very clearly, very quickly. And I know it does with me too. When people listen to me, because you can't fake experience. You just can't fake it. I see these guys that are 20 years old trying to tell people how to make millions, and it's like it's a joke. It's a joke. You don't have the knowledge base. You don't have it. And people that trust him, you know what? You really got to be careful. My dad was kind of a gullible guy. He was a nice guy, but he was a gullible guy, and he got taken advantage of sometimes. And so all right. Let's hit the intro again, and we'll get started. All right, there you go. All right, so look, let's go ahead and watch Ben here. You guys let me know right away if there's any problem, but I think we got the sound figured out. Thanks, Keith. All right, let's see. Let's see. It seems every time you go to Ben Mallah in the bathing suit. Yeah, thanks, Keith. That's exactly what happened. What it is I didn't have the mic going on that particular channel, and I'm not an engineer, as you guys know. I screw things up all the time. But anyhow, this is working, so we'll roll with it. So let's listen to Ben. I'm starting this about a minute in because it's where he gets to the point, right? It's where he gets to the point, where he begins. He starts with A or number one or something like that. So let's start here.
You want to get in it, listen, number one, have the tools you need. Credit, money, and basically credit and money to get started. But without the credit and without some kind of money, you don't need a lot of money. Okay, if you never bought a house, you need to go and find out what would it take for you to get an FHA loan. You can go up to 4 units, I believe. It's 3% down.
Okay, so I'm going to add to something right there that he didn't say, okay? He talked about you need money, credit, and basically he's saying, get a hold of your strengths. Find out what you're worth, what you can borrow, what your power is, okay, what your financial power is. But what he didn't say there, and this is something that's super important, is because he's a value-added guy. He would buy stuff and he fixes it up. And we're going to get into this, and I'm sure he's going to talk about it. But he likes to buy things and fix them up. He likes to take something, like I said, it says garbage to gold, right? He takes a piece of garbage and he cleans it up. Well, okay, here's another way. Here's one of the ways I started, is I got property that I got the deal tied up. It was worth more than what I was paying for it. In other words, I got a contract for something at a very good deal where there's room for a partner to make money, or someone I can just flip it to, or I can hand it off to, or I always refer to it as assignments, because that's what I did, is I assigned property. So everything he's saying is valid, important, don't get me wrong, but what I want to add is also, if you can, and I say this all the time, look, if you can get a deal, if you understand what values are and you get a deal, and then you get in between somebody that has money and somebody has a property, you get in between those two, what somebody wants and what somebody has. That's the beauty. That's the big money. So let's keep watching.
It's $3,000 on every $100,000. You need to get pre-approved for that first. You got to, without the bank and without good credit or some kind of money, you got nothing. Don't waste your time. You got to have the money to do the deal, and you got to have decent credit. You want people to loan your money. So go meet with a banker, and they'll tell you what you got to do to be that person they want to loan money to if you're unsure. If you're not sure, find out. What was he taught me in the Army? The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. Let's start with simple. You find a property for $100,000, or whatever your goal is. The first thing you got to do is go to the bank. You can't do it by yourself. You need bank money. And you're better off with the bank because they put up most of the money, but they don't get a big in a partnership. Okay, all they get is their interest. You start bringing in partners with their money, you're giving away a whole lot more.
Yeah, and I want to second that. That's one of the things I tell people. Say, oh, Tom, man, I got a hard money loan for 10%. Doesn't that seem unreasonable? And I say, no, I'd rather pay 10% a year on what you're going to borrow than to give 50% to a partner. So right on with Ben on that.
You need to go and sit down with a bank and say, can you tell me what I need to provide you to get a loan? Any kind of real estate residential loan. What do I qualify for? If I found an income property that generated income, what would you loan me? How much? That's all you need to do. That's the first step.
Yeah, what he's describing is getting a pre-qualification letter, and that's really important because it's like cash. When you're going to go buy a property and you need to be pre-qualified, okay? Even if you don't have the money, maybe you have $20,000 and you're going to buy something for, I don't know, 100. You're not going to get any respect unless the person that is selling you the property understands that you qualify for the loan, okay? You can go ahead and tell them you're going to pay cash for it, and then if you can't show them that you have the cash in the bank, then at least show them, say, no, look, I'm pre-qualified, and now it's just a matter of whether or not the property, whether the asset qualifies for the loan. But everything's good, what he's talking about so far, all good stuff.
Because without the money, you got nothing. If you don't have no money, you're going to have to figure out, at least, you get some money. You're going to have the minimum of $3,000 down payment on an FHA loan. So if you ain't got...
Okay, and what I'm going to say that you can get away with less than this, okay? Because this is his experience, right? And he's become very wealthy from it. But I can tell you right now, you just need a few hundred. You need a few hundred to put down the deposit. It could be $500, it could be $1,000. I mean, I used to put $200 down to buy a house. Now, it's $1,000, $10,000, whatever I got to do to get the respect of the seller and get the contract in my name. But even if you don't qualify for the loan, because I didn't qualify. I was 19 years old. I had no credit. I didn't have any money. I was starting a business. But I would put a few $100s down, and I'd get the contract to buy the property, and all they knew is I was going to close this thing in 30 to 60 days, and I'd make the deposit non-refundable, so they knew I was serious, okay? That they could see I have some skin in the game. And so I would get it tied up, and then I would go get a partner, okay? And I had a friend of mine that was a computer program. This is 40 years ago, right? And so he was really early into the computers. And he had money. He had a great job. And so he would be my partner. And so the first property, he qualified, or he came up with the money, and we paid cash, and we split $13,000, $6,500 each. And then again after that, we split $15,000, $7,500 each. Well, now I'm starting to get my own cash. And then pretty soon I got a property that, guess what? I didn't need him because I had accumulated enough of my own money that now I could put it big enough down, I could get the respect of the bank, or I could get it owner financed. And then I would keep all the profit. And that's what he's talking about. But when you're beginning, you can start with just a few $100s, but you're going to end up getting a partner, and you're going to end up splitting the profit. But I'll tell you what, you can't get hurt taking a profit. You try to hog it all or try to make something happen that you can't, you risk losing everything. So let's keep listening.
At least $10,000 in a bank account that you can use. It's not going to ruin your life, it's not going to hurt your bills or anything. You shouldn't even be thinking about it. The first step is you need 10 grand at least. Because if you buy an FHA deal, you're going to need 3% down, which is $3,000. You're always going to need a couple of thousand for other costs. And you want to have $5,000 protection or fix-up money, well, whatever. So if you ain't saved up $10,000, I wouldn't even waste your time. That's
Okay, I'm going to disagree with him there. You don't have to have 10 grand. Listen, I did not have 10 grand. In fact, I mean, look, let's talk about my very first deal. I bought a industrial commercial building, okay? And I got a 6-month escrow. I put $500 down. I had to come up with 10 grand actually, but I bought 6 months because I got a 6-month escrow and I got access to the property. I moved into the property. That allowed me to save the 10 grand to put down. So in 6 months, I just scrapped together. I wasn't paying rent because I was living in the building for free. I got 10 grand. That was my down payment. So you can get there. So yes, he's right. You need some money, but don't hang it up just because you don't have 10 grand in your bank account. You can do it. You can do it with $500. You can be broke. You can tie up a property. Like I said, as long as you get the deal, okay, then you got to go find somebody with the money. And then they're either going to give you money to go away or maybe they'll be your partner. But there's room for you to make some money. And then pretty soon you'll have that 10 grand in the bank. So that's all.
your first step. Then, once you got 10 grand in the bank, your bills are paid, you make sure your credit is halfway decent. These are all things you got to maybe work on before you can even get into real estate.
Okay, now I'm going to disagree with him again on that, okay? Because he's got a different experience, okay? Now, I'm not saying he's wrong, but that's his experience, okay? It's not true, and I'll tell you why. I didn't have any credit. I started when I was 19. I think he started when he was 25, okay, or maybe a little older. So like I said, he started after I did, and we're about the same age. But he's got a different experience. I had nothing. I had no credit, okay? So I got started with nothing, but you can see how I made it happen. I got my foot in the door. I bought some time. I saved the money. That's how I got past that. And what he was just saying, let's go back. I almost forgot what he just said. Let's hear this again real quick.
Your credit is halfway decent. These are all things you got to maybe work on before you can even get into real estate.
Yeah, see, I didn't have credit. Okay, but guess what? Owner financing. No credit necessary. If you can get an owner to carry the note, and believe me, I've done it probably 100 times or more, okay, really, that much. That's not an exaggeration. It's an underestimate, more than 100 times. And it's possible. And if you look, I got a testimonial from, Eric, who just did my mentorship. Eric, he got a 0 down deal, 100% financed, and 0 interest, okay? That is remarkable. I've never done that, okay? And I thought I've done everything. I'm glad I'm a part of helping him get to where he made this deal. But I'm telling you, so don't give up. You don't have to have 10 grand down, and you do not have to have good credit, because as much as I respect Ben, he might be kind of taking the wind out of the sails for some people. And I'm telling you, it's not true. You can make money. You can start with 0. You can start with nothing. You can start with bad credit. But certainly you need to address those things as fast as you can, because then you will be more independent and you will have more options of buying properties, a lot of different ways. So let's keep listening.
You got to have at least decent credit, a few bucks in the bank, and that's called stabilized, or somewhat. Then you go to the bank. The bank is your friend. They're the ones that are going to loan you the money for the deal. Before you even think about being in real estate, you better have the financing lined up. Find out what your power is. You can only do as much power as you have. You got to find out what your abilities are to borrow money. FHA is 3% down. VA, I think, is 0 down. If you're a veteran,
Okay, he's talking about typical bank financing. He's not talking about hard money lenders or potential partners that could come up with the money. So just keep that in mind, because those are still options, but they do cost you, because you have to split the profit, which I don't like doing, and I haven't had to do it for a very long time.
Use the resources you can find, but if you want to buy income property, I don't know. You're probably going to be putting 20% down, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, probably 25.
You start with a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4.
What kind of percent I'll get if I've got credit?
The bank. A lot of banks are different. Some banks will loan on different credit levels, but they're going to make you pay something. Maybe mortgage insurance. Maybe they're going to loan you as much money as the next guy. I'm losing air. Thank you very much. Thank you. Fill her up, baby. Fill her up. They ripped me off. And now watch when I'm going to go back. They're going to say, no, it was fine when you bought it. We filled up. I exceeded Shaq's weight limit. This is supposed to hold Shaq. It's
Oh, wow.
supposed to hold me.
learned something.
For all the beginners
I
out
put my
there,
family on that thing.
step number one, you can't do it with zero money. It ain't happening.
Not
so
true.
The first thing
Listen. I just want to back up. You can't do it with zero money, but you can do it with somebody else's money. Okay, you can get a partner. So let's keep going.
you need to do is you need to have at least 10 grand saved up in the bank. Step number two.
Or you got to know somebody that has 10 grand that believes in you, or that you can demonstrate that this is a great deal and you both will make money.
Make sure you don't need the 10 grand to use for your bills. All that no money down stuff. Listen, if it works for some people, God bless them. I'm not as smart as they are. I can't go around buying real estate with no money and figuring out all these other ways of doing it.
No, but the reason I had to figure out how to do it is because that was my only option. And that's the thing. You'll figure out, believe me, when you got no options, you figure it out. I mean, people eat on, $30 a month. It might be potatoes and eggs, but they do it. And, again, a different route. He got there a different way.
These people are way smarter than me. So I'm telling you the way I do it. With 3% down on FHA or 1 to 4 units, 3,000 on 100,000, that ain't much money to need. And then the interest rates are so low right now. The only problem is real estate is still high. Okay? It's hard to find everything to be perfect. I've hit it a couple of times where interest rates are reasonable, everything else falls into place. Real estate values are low. Unfortunately, real estate's high, at least where I'm at right now. But there's a deal out there to be made.
Kind of everywhere.
But the first thing you got to do is have the money to do it. Then, once the bank tells you, you know what? If you found a place that was cash flowing, then you need probably more down. You need about 20% down. You want to buy a house, the bank will tell you what you need to be able to accomplish that, okay? And then you do whatever the hell they tell you to do. Fix your credit. They want to see you working 3 more months. I don't know. Just give them what they want to get the money. You can't go out and spend it all. You ain't be able to pay for it yourself. If you can do that, you don't need to be in real estate. You're already doing too goddamn good. Get a loan, find a deal, and then we'll talk about bigger deals. But get that first one done. I don't care if it's a mobile home, anything. That's all on how I'm getting started today. Next time, we'll talk about income property. Money in, money out. All right, Vincent, forward, march.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I asked you guys, what do you think of this format? Meaning what I'm doing, not what Ben's doing. So look, Ben's got some great advice there. He really does. Like I say, everybody's look where he's at. Look at his pad. Look at his home that he's got. He's done great. He's done great. Not everybody gets there the same way. Not everybody gets there the same way. And so, it's not stupid. Look, he's kind of a character. That's fine. But I'll tell you what, he may be, this is the thing. He's got choices. He can do whatever he wants. Okay, he can do whatever he wants. He can sit there and float around and keep himself entertained. And he's sharing, believe me, he's sharing gold with you. Believe me, that's all good stuff. Everything that he said. I'm just adding some of my own experiences of what I know to be a fact, okay? Of what I did, how I got there. He's richer than me, okay? I've made tens of millions. He's made hundreds of millions, okay? Neither one is a bad place to be, okay? I promise you that, okay? And even if you fell far short of where I'm at, you still live comfortably, very comfortably, so anyways, that is all good advice. Again, everything he said is true. But really what he's kind of skipping over is the guys that started. See, he was started after he'd already had a job for a while because he worked for other people. I never worked for anybody. I've been self-employed my whole life, okay, other than maybe a first year and a half. I first dropped out of high school. I went to work for a cabinet shop, and I ended up buying the building that I actually learned to work in because that guy went under and lost it. But anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything to add to this? We can keep talking. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and show you another place that I'm about to work on right now. And actually, this is, let's see here. Yeah, let me see what I can show you here. All right. So, look, you guys want to see, I'll show you the house that I'm just about to put on the market. This is pretty cool. This is one of probably 5 properties in a row that I bought. And each one was by a referral to another person, to another person, to another person. Meaning, I tell my tenants, hey, if anything comes up, let me know if you hear about anything. And hey, one told me the restaurant was for sale. I bought that. I gave her $5,000. This one that I'm going to show you, I actually met the guy because he lived next door to one of my properties, and I said, hey, if your landlord wants to sell, and he said, hey, I think they want to sell. I said, hey, give me their number. And so I bought it, and he stayed living in it, and I gave him a couple months rent free. And so there's all kinds of different ways to get there and to make money. So here, take a look at this place here and see what you think. Okay, here's my big mouth. Let's see. That's me after I came in from outside. Let's start outside. Okay, and there's... Okay, this is the backyard of a property. Okay, it's got bamboo, man. That is so nasty. I'm not going to make another video from this, I'm sure, later on. So check it out.
All right, so I have Antonio with me, my concrete man, and there's a lot of other stuff too. So we're going through the house. So you'll scrape out the yard, you get rid of all the deadwood meaning all the deadwood out of the trees. Anything he can't reach or cut, I'll have an arborist come in and fix. Block we'll get rid of.
That's all bamboo you see back there.
Up the bamboo. Yeah, the bamboo's nasty. Also you can go ahead and remove all the carpet.
All the carpet?
All the carpet. I'm keeping the tile, but we're going to remove the carpet inside.
All the carpet only?
Carpet only. Yep, carpet only.
Okay.
Yep.
In the meantime, we're going to do everything outside here.
Yeah.
And then we can start it.
Yeah, and anything you see or any suggestion you have, he's great because he saves me money. He'll find things that need to be fixed and things that don't need to be worked on that we'll pass on. And you can figure, like I say.
And so, like I say, and this is really neat. Once you get established and you got crews that work for you, you got people you can rely on, you got air conditioning, maybe multiple air conditioning people. I spend, more than $100,000 a year, far more than $100,000 a year, just on air conditioning, just keeping them repaired and updated. And, they go out, people get hot, they get uncomfortable. Plumbers too, same thing. You get a nice group of people, Antonio's got a great crew, concrete people. I'm always repairing concrete, replacing driveways, parking lots. He's poured for me, all kinds of stuff. And what's wonderful is when somebody like this guy's slow or there's clouds in the sky, they're a great resource because there's nobody tougher than a concrete guy. Okay, I'm telling you right now, these guys are tough, man. They are strong. They're resilient. They can deal with the heat, the elements. So there's nothing you can't have them move or do or dig, and they're tough. They're just tough.
I think concrete would be better over here by the house, don't you? Than here? Be better?
That's Nelly, my property manager in the background.
Here, and then we'll put concrete here, and then we'll go out the gate and replace all this orange brick and come back to the patio.
It's going to be a sidewalk here.
Yeah, a sidewalk, here, and then a sidewalk here everywhere I'm walking. Okay? And then I want you can bring that concrete up to where you got 7 inches.
That's a step,
Okay,
seven and a
inches
quarter.
Down, it'll be your slab, and that'll be the step to come up. So it'll be a step.
Yeah. And we look at here and right here, sidewalk. How much is 3 foot 6 sidewalk?
Yeah, 3/6 is good.
Okay.
3/6 on the width, and
Yeah, what I'm debating is just pouring all concrete, but I'm not going to do that. We'll just go ahead and go with a 40-inch wide path, and that'll come over and butt to the driveway, and it'll be a 7-inch step down, which is what a step should be. And it'd just be nice because I've got a separate building. Let me show you real quick because it's a pretty cool layout. So I've got. Let's see if I can move this over. Okay. So the way this house is if you're looking at it from the front, there's the house. Let me change this up a little bit, make some room. You got the driveway coming up here, and then there's a carport. This is like the carport, and then the house comes back around like this, Well, so we're talking about doing this sidewalk here, right? That's where all that brick stuff was. You're not seeing my whole screen here. Hang on. Guys, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. Let me see here. All right, let me do this again. Okay. Here's the carport. Here's the driveway. This is the bulk of the yard. Going up here. Comes back. Comes down here, right? We're talking about having a path coming back here off the driveway, and that goes back to where we had that other little building back here. Because this little building back here, where this little X is, that little building has, let's see here, that has a little bathroom in it right here. It has a little bathroom. And so what's kind of cool is what I'm envisioning is here I got this is a 2-bedroom house. People can utilize this if they work out of home like so many of us do, right? People can come in here, park, but if they don't want them in their house, they just say, come to my office. And they just go walk around the back. And then there's a door, and then they can use this effectively as a home office, right? And have a private way for people to come, that, drop off, UPS, whatever, that sort of thing. That's all. I really like the property, and but that's what I'm looking at doing with this thing. So let's keep watching.
Yeah, maybe 5 foot. I don't know. I don't care about a planner. Maybe just go. I don't. Maybe.
You can do the width of the gate.
All right. Yeah, the width of the gate. Let's do that. Width of the gate. And I just noticed we have we're going to fix too. This happens.
Okay.
My guys will take care of that. Yeah. Somebody else. But got to address that. It happens all the time. I saw that corner's got it, and then this one's also got it. You can see we got to fix that. But man, this is easy. This is really nice. And considering all the money I'm going to make on this thing, for kind of a long-term hold for me, and the money I made as a landlord all these years, I think I am going to keep this though. I want this gate.
I love this gate. It's so ornate.
For FlipAnything, and I kind of like stuff like this. I can see just hanging that on the wall. So let's look at this box. Oh hell, this is bad.
See, pay attention to this.
So check this out. See that? FPE. That means Federal Pacific. This is garbage. So I don't have to replace the entire box I had before, but what I do need to do is replace, and maybe I've already done it. The breakers were terrible. They're inferior, the Federal Pacific ones. But these ones, if they're not the replacements, and I kind of think they might be, but what it is they wouldn't trip like they were supposed to, so they caused fires and stuff a long time ago. So every time I discover these kind of boxes, I replace the breakers, and they're very expensive. Sometimes they're like $80 a piece. And if you have so many breakers in there, sometimes it's cheaper just to replace the entire box.
Yeah, so if you hadn't seen that before, and I think I've even gone through it on several of the properties that I've already rehabbed, but Federal Pacific is a terrible, they're long out of business from what I understand, but the bottom line is they somehow these things passed UL a long time ago, and the breakers don't fail. In other words, they don't break. And so things just heat up, wires catch on fires, and they cause fires. And so when I see those, they have like a replacement breaker. They another company, an aftermarket company, created a UL approved breaker that replaces it, that does trip properly. It's made so that it'll fit in that in that same configuration of a Federal Pacific breaker box. But sometimes there's so many breakers, and at $80 a piece, if you got 20 of them, that's $1,600, right? Or if you got 40 of them, it's $3,200. So it's like, you know what? For that price, I'll just buy a whole brand new breaker box with square D, get the best, and replace it, pull a permit, and get it done. So that's something to look out for. It's I beat up when I buy a property, if it's got Federal Pacific, I beat up the the owners terribly and try to get the price down. So let's watch the remainder.
But we'll do something. We'll do something. And make it safe. That's it.
Yeah. So anyways, after that, are you guys enjoying this, or do you even want to bother seeing anymore? I can show you the interior of this place too, which is really, really cool. I'm really happy about this place. This is like a 70s built, and it's just been in immaculate condition since day one. It really is cool. And I'm going to anyways, just something to share now while we're here. But what questions you got here? Okay, Robert Smith. Ben, would the banks use the previous tenant history as proof of cash flow? Okay, we're watching Ben's video. I'm not Ben. But it was a hair salon, and then the tenants left at the start of COVID. You know what? I got tenant opening a hair salon right now. You like it, Keith? Okay, cool. We'll do it. Thanks, Rom. Appreciate it. Yeah, Elon. Yeah, Elon. If you, Anyways, yeah. Ideally you want to buy a perfect property that's under market, then you can just sell it and not do anything. I've done a lot of that. That's my preference, is to not have to fix stuff up. Okay, Britt. Hey, listen, guys. Please subscribe and like the video. Please do it right now, okay? And I'm going to get I'll get the second part here and show you guys. All right, so smash the like button and, all the other stuff. All right, let's jump over here. All right, Keith, will you monitor the likes and make sure they're going up, please? All right, here we go. Okay, this is after I walked inside. I got about 4 phone calls in a row while I was in there, so here we go. Okay, so look, coming inside the back door here, this place is beautiful. Look how clean and neat it is. It's got this, they call it kind of like a beadboard paneling. It's got a great little fireplace here in the corner. I mean, this is like a cool little bachelor pad, and it's got a little bar. I mean, I love this place. I remember I put that tile in like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But this is a great little property, probably worth about $400,000. I paid $120 for it. Look at the interior. It's old. Yeah, look at this. This place is beautiful. It really is. I mean, it's old, it's 70s, but it's perfect. It's perfect condition. And even the colors, I mean, it's just really cool. It's got paneling on the walls, which normally I just rip out and put sheetrock on, or hope there's sheetrock underneath it. These cabinets are pretty plain. I used to own a cabinet shop, but they're clean and neat, and they're well kept. The paneling on the walls is clean and neat and well kept. It's painted, but it looks beautiful. Wait until you see the bathroom. The bathroom is really, really, I really love the bathroom. Yes, it's old, but it's beautiful. It's in great shape. I like it. It's just kind of retro. There's a cockroach on the floor right there. But, it's got decent, appliances. Probably put these in. I don't know when I put these in. Sometimes I probably put them in 5 years ago. I don't remember. I think I'm just going to leave this as is. I think the paint is actually quite nice in here, too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the carpet. I'm going to leave the tile that you see behind me here, and I'm just going to put in gray wood floors. And here's something else. I mean, look at this. It's really pretty, too. It's got a nice big giant window looking out the front. It's got a nice covered patio out there. I love, this is a tile that went in everywhere in the 60s around here. I have it in some of my other homes. But look how perfect. Look at this tile. It still looks great. Cast iron tub, which I leave cast iron. If it's cast iron, I leave it. If it's fiberglass or plastic, I rip it out. But this is still a very clean and neat, functional bathroom. Now, look, not everybody feels the way I do, but it just kills me to tear out something that is in perfect condition. I don't care if it's 40 years old. If it's in perfect condition, it just kills me to tear it out, And I remember tearing a bathroom out like this because my wife insisted she wanted a new tile. And it just killed me to do it. But I did. I ripped it all out, made her happy. And I understand. But, I mean, this is just cool. That's tiles floated. It's done the right way. And, in the shower, too. Tile missing. It's always a shame when there's one tile popped up. But this thing looks good. It's got a little balance for the light to come out. And, man, I'm super happy. I'm not going to have to, I bought this thing, and it's in as good a shape or better than the day I bought it. And I probably bought it, I don't even know when I bought it, more than 10 years ago. But again, I thought I'd turn this into a little office and have an office on Jollyville back then, but it's worth more. It's worth more, just as it is. So, anyways, I'll give you another quick walk outside and go out the perimeter. And just even that little bit of crown molding around the top. It's just, you know, and
so when you pull up, you can walk straight into the kitchen, right? And it's got, like I said, it's got a covered porch, which I think is pretty cool. And it's got a patio, carport. And I told you guys in the beginning about all the damn trees and the crazy tenants that I had. But look at this. It's amazing. You can always walk across the street and get yourself a Coke and a pack of cigarettes if you smoke. And I don't. But, so anyways, that's it. Just wanted to show you. This is the difference between this and the other house that I'm about to remodel is, the other one is a nice little home, 1,800 square feet. I think this one's only like 12 or 1,300 square feet. This is so clean and neat inside. There's really no, other than putting in new floors where somebody might use this as an office, I don't know.
So like, yeah, Keith, I agree. It really reminds me of a house in Santa Barbara. You know, this is in Texas, but it really reminds me of a lot of homes in California, to be quite honest. And yeah, Garrett, can I give numbers on the deal? I mean, I can tell you I paid $120 and I expect to sell it for $400, and I'll probably spend 10 grand on it maybe. I'll give it a new paint job and I'll replace the flooring. Maybe I'll spend 12, I don't know. And then, but you know, the thing's paid for itself a long time ago. You know, it's always brought in, I don't know, $1,200 a month rent. And, you know, now that's not very much return on a $400,000 asset, but it was fine when I bought it for $120. But Henry, have I ever met Chris Crone? No. And, you know, I don't like Chris Crone's model. I don't think it serves the people that invest with him. I don't think it's very good. And I haven't seen any testimonials where they're bragging about how much money they've made. So that is of concern to me. But you know, he might be a fine gentleman. I don't know. But what he does, I think, is good for him. I don't think it's necessarily good for the investors. So, Ram, would it better to buy smaller house or bigger house? It doesn't matter. Ram, you got to get my book. Listen, look, folks, if you don't have my book, go get my $10 book. You can get it on Kindle for $10, $20 in paperback. There you go. Keith already said it. You know, there is no bad real estate. There's just bad deals. Don't make a bad deal. I don't care if the place is big or small. As long as you're buying it for less than it's worth and you can resell it at a profit, that's all that matters. I mean, this is a tiny house, probably one of the smallest houses I own. The one next door to it is 3,000 square feet that I bought. And I paid 105. Look at this. So I paid 105,000 for the house next door. That's 3,000 square feet. Maybe it's 2,600 square feet. And then I bought this one after that for 120,000. And it's half the size. But, yeah, the main thing is make money. Make money. There you go. Yeah, as long as the value's there, it's simple. It really is a simple thing to deal with. Let's see. All right. So, hey, again, remind you guys to subscribe. Let's see. Let's finish this video. We got a few more minutes. But there's no upside for me to put a lot of money in this. Because its highest and best use, to be quite honest, is going to be probably like in an office. But even, I can tell you myself, even if I was going to move into this thing, this is all I would do. I'd probably replace, I don't like these lights. You know, I'd probably change out the fan lights and things. But I would keep the little fireplace. And, you know, I'm becoming an empty nester, so heck. A little too small for me, though. I'm spoiled. I like a lot of yard. And plus I got Mom living with me. So now take a look. Back here, walk straight through. And this takes me to the little art room or external office. It's got its own bathroom. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this. And I got Nelly over here scoping things out. Antonio, as you know. And they're gonna clean all this stuff up. We're gonna make this place look good.
We'll clean this brick up. We'll get rid of this brick. Maybe pour a little walkway. Hey, Antonio, what do you think? Maybe we get rid of this brick. We can save it. We can put it in my yard or somewhere else.
Yeah, I have a yard where I
pour
take anything reusable.
Down the side here. It'll take us here, so if somebody wants to run an office, people can park, walk around the house, and have a little office back here. And if we do that, we'll go ahead and get rid of this stuff and pour concrete through here, or maybe here. You know? Yeah, maybe put a sidewalk along the house or something. And after you get rid of all the leaves.
Yeah, I got some wood rot here too. But it won't take much
to
fix it. See that behind me?
It looks like the trees raised that in quite a bit, but there's no big gaps. And yeah, it's just out of level. Probably gonna hold water in the middle, huh? But anyhow, this is how you do it. You just get on it and get it done, and that's what we're doing. All right, see ya.
Yeah, actually, when I get this video completed, I'll make one just on this house. And but yeah, so some of the questions we got here that came up while this has been rolling. Would you flip a schoolie, a school bus? Yeah, I don't care. Listen, I bought a fire truck. I bought a fire engine. It was it would have cost $250,000 new, an American LaFrance fire truck built in 1978. And I bought that thing in 1990 something. And I bought it for $11,200, and I resold it. I bought that out of Plano, Texas, and I resold it in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Yeah, I think I sold it to Ponca City, Oklahoma, and made almost $20,000. It was cool. Yeah, somebody's calling me Ben. I thought that was funny too, Keith. Okay, so yeah, listen, if you're young, if you're a kid, if you're not 18 yet, buy and sell stuff. There's a fortune in stuff. You can. A friend of mine, his daughter was buying. She's going to garage sales in like a high upper end area where they live in Houston, and she'd go to the garage sale. She'd be the first one there, and she'd buy like $1,000 purse for $60 or $50 or whatever, and then she'd throw it on eBay and sell it for $500. Okay, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to make money. You just got to find a niche, and then when you figure it out, keep your mouth shut. Don't share it. Okay, I can share it because I'm already rich. Nobody's going to step on my toes. And like I say, the things that I share with you are things that you can do in every city in the USA, and there's a lot of cities. Okay, there's over 1,100 in Texas and California. I mean, there's so many cities that the same things happen over and again. Death, divorce, disease, depression, all these different things that happen, that occur, that create deals on real estate happen all the time everywhere. And you should take advantage of them. You should just get educated. Take some time, spend some money. Not much, but spend time. It takes more time than anything. You can watch all my videos and be extremely bright. You can watch Ben, listen to Ben. I think I go into more detail in ways that's more important to a lot of you guys than most of these guys. But Ben's good. He's been there, done that. He knows. And what else you got here? Let's see. Those trees are gorgeous. I know they are beautiful trees. They really are. Yeah. Wait, I got a more video on this. Okay, on the idiot tenant. I think I showed that video earlier. Actually, didn't I? Where the tenant. I had a tenant that was living there, and he called my managers and he said, "Hey, do you care if we trim the bushes?" They said, "Sure, no problem." Well, they took that to mean they could do whatever the hell they want. They put an ad in Craigslist and said free firewood, and then the guy showed up, and they go, "Where's the firewood?" He goes, "It's this tree here. If you just cut it down and chop it up," because they would. I don't know if they wanted to have a little more sun coming in the window. I mean, just complete jackasses. I kicked those guys out so quick. And, I was really as close as I've ever come to hitting a tenant. That was really close. Anyways, that, things happen. But listen, don't let those little mini nightmare stories that dissuade you. The money, the wealth, the lifestyle, the everything. I mean, I've lived such a fantastic lifestyle, starting at 19 years old. Believe me, there were some struggles, but I mean, once I hit 28, I mean, I was a millionaire, and then the stress that I put on myself was just pure greed, and I just leveraged to my teeth and buy as much as I possibly can, and I just made it hard on myself. But of course, I made a pile. So I could have just cruised. I could have gone, I could have made half of what I've made, and probably enjoyed life maybe even better than I have so far. I don't know, but it's really on you, and even Ben talks about it in a video called "Why is Ben richer than me?" Right? And with Ben, he started it later than me, and he's richer than me. Okay, but again, it's a different path. You're going to have opportunities come up. I've made over $1 million on a property. I've made, $500,000 on a property very quickly. I've made $140,000 like within weeks on one property. Those things happen. They don't happen all the time. It's all the little deals, making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. That's what I built most of my wealth with. But then, because I'm in the business and I'm looking all the time, these opportunities pop up, and I'll take it. I'll take it. And knowing that you can take it is fantastic. That's the power. That really is the power. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's why I tell you, and what I was telling Keith there is, and Keith is in the group one. He's in Los Angeles, California, and the things that you learn, even in my book, you don't need a partner, you don't need a buddy, you got to do it on your own, okay? And it's not something you want to share with your friends that are near you, because, I'm sharing with you because you're all over the place, right? And sure, there's some people that know where I'm at, and, and maybe they can, compete with me locally, and that's fine. I mean, I don't care. I got enough. I'm fine. But what's really cool and rewarding is helping you guys. And look, primarily I got a men's audience here, okay? Most of my 99% of the people that watch this are men, 25 to 55 years old. And so, look, nothing I'd like better for my legacy to be helping guys, make their first million, or make 500,000, or make 10 million, or whatever it turns out to. Just transferring what I know to help put your kids through school and college. And, I write checks for tuition, all that stuff. It's easy. And thank God those are things that are just small. They're just small to me. And they could be small to you. And I'm not saying there's no pressure to make money if you're happy. The main thing is be happy doing whatever you're doing. But I happen to love real estate. I love making deals. And the money, I don't live a very lavish lifestyle, but the money is the points. That's how I keep track of whether I'm doing well or not. So, anyways, anybody else or anything else you guys want to talk about? Actually, I kind of have to go. I got to go look at some windows with my girlfriend here. So look, I'm just going to go ahead and call it quits here. Thanks a lot for hanging out, everybody. You guys, I'll try to push more content out. Things kind of lighten my load a little bit. I got a caretaker for my mom, taking some pressure off me. My mom lives with me. She has dementia. It's every day is a new day. Okay, sometimes every 20 minutes is a new day. But anyways, but I love her, and she's a really smart lady. But man, no memory. It's really a shame. It's a tough deal. But hey, thanks for watching. And again, please subscribe. Hit that like button, man. Help my channel. Help me get to, I should have been at 12,000, 2-3 years ago, but here I am. So thanks for watching. Take care.